Welcome back, folks. Things are not so golden in my former home state of California. Governor Gavin Newsom said from the very beginning his coronavirus policy decisions would be driven by data that would be shared with the public to provide maximum transparency. But California's embattled governor won't disclose key China virus information to the public. Joining me now, California Congressman Darrell Issa. Congressman, welcome back. Why do you think Governor Newsom is playing politics with the China virus data and not releasing it to the folks?
Well, as you can imagine, it's all science, political science. And that's really what it's been about since the beginning. And the pun is intentional, but it's also serious. Before the election, clearly Gavin wanted to show that this was a failure. Our state is 47th in dispensing of the actual vaccine. Less than half as many doses have been put in arms in California per available doses than in West Virginia. Night and day difference in the implementation. As a matter of fact, he waited to turn on 250 ICU beds that the federal government under Donald Trump had paid for. He waited until he could report that there were 0 beds available and then said, oh, by the way, turn on this 250 beds that are sitting there idle and are already paid for. The list of political activities that the governor has done in order to move himself up in power and to basically line himself up for a presidential race now is beginning to hurt him, where as he sees the recall, he's now playing political games the other way. So where he locked down the state without any transparency and without any science, he's now unlocking it so badly that even his Democrat assembly and senators are questioning where's the science that would allow him to reverse without any real change in the amount of people in hospital beds.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Congressman, but he looks so good when he smiles. I mean, he has that perfect GQ smile. I mean, he looks the part of a president, but he just can't. He can't even manage to be a governor, for that matter. Let me put something on the federal.
You know, Eisenhower had a good smile, but he also did a great job. You know, it's you got to have more than a smile to be president.
You think? You think? Let me talk about something the Democrats are pushing down the country's throat, H.R. 1. It's stupidly named the For the People Act. And let me tell the folks, among other things, what this thing does. State may not require an individual to provide any form of identification as a condition of obtaining an absentee ballot, except that nothing in this paragraph may be construed to prevent a state from requiring a signature of the individual or similar affirmation as a condition of obtaining an absentee ballot. In other words, you can't ask for ID when getting an absentee ballot. Doesn't this bill, among other things, institutionalize voter fraud?
Well, it institutionalizes California's standard or lack thereof. In California, you can register without any ID, vote absentee without any ID. And the only thing that has to happen in California, in theory, is that the signature on your application should match the signature on your ballot. Now, it doesn't have to be your name. You can make up 100 different names. As long as you remember how to sign each ballot, you could vote 100 times. California is, by definition, able to have unlimited fraud. And clearly, we are the state with the most non-citizens registered to vote by far. Probably well north of 1 million people are registered to vote in this state who are not citizens.
Right, and some precincts, they're given the blessings to vote. They say in local elections only, but nobody in California has been very clear to me how they police that, if they even do. Congressman, I appreciate the time, as always, here on the Chris Salcedo Show. We'll get you back on soon.